So we're going to do a cosine graph now. So the first thing we're going to do is identify our amplitude. In the last video on the sine graphs, I accidentally said asymptote. It's actually called the amplitude, with a slip of the tongue. My apologies on that. So the amplitude would be our A, which is 4. Now we're going to find our period. So we still use the formula 2 pi over b. Our b is 1. Every variable has a invisible 1 in it. So we have 2 pi over 1 is equal to 2 pi, and our period is 2 pi. However, we can't do it like that. So we're going to split it up into quarters. So 1/4 of 2 pi would be half of pi. Right, so that's what we're going to base our units on. So now we're going to create our x and y graph, x and y table. So for cosine graphs, unlike sine graphs, which start at 0, 0, cosine graphs start at x is 0, y is whatever the amplitude is, so which is the a. So in this case, our y would start at 4. Now we're going to add our quarters. So we're going to start off at pi over 2. For pi over 2, if you plug it into this and use the unit circle for the pi over 2, you will find that it is 0. Then you go down to pi. We got another quarter. We have pi. It is now, once you plug it in, you find out that it's -4. So now we identified the pattern. So for 3 pi over 2, it would be 0. And then we added another quarter. And that would be 2 pi. And for that, we would have 4. Then 0. And then -4 again. For 5 pi over 2 and 3 pi. So now what we're going to do is we're going to graph this. So we have 4. So we're going to start it off as 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do our x's now. We have 0, 0. We have 1 here. We have pi over 2 here. Pi here. 3 pi over 2. 2 pi. 5 pi over 2, and then 3 pi. I'm going to increase it by 1. Now what we're going to do is we're going to label them. Pi over 2, pi, 3 pi over 2, 2 pi, 2 pi, 5 pi over 2, and then 3 pi. Now we're going to graph this now. For 0, for when x is 0, our y will be equal to 4. At pi over 2, it will be 0, going all the way down. At pi, it is going to be at -4. Remember, these are negative. These are in the 4th quadrant, so the y's are going to be negative. In our 3 pi over 2, we go back up at 0. 2 pi, we're at 4. So I'm going to graph it right there. 2 pi over 4. 5 pi over 2, we're going back down to 0. And then 3 pi, we're going all the way down to -4. And then what we're going to do is do our freehand curve, going all the way down, touching all the points, going back up again, touching all the points again, going back down, and finishing our graph off. And that is our sine graph. Cosine graph, apologies.